Hey guys, what day is it?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. That means it's Tuesdays with your favorite nurse, Tuesdays with Lori. And you guys are in for a super big treat. This is a wonderful human that I had the pleasure of meeting a few years ago. And this is my opportunity to highlight her work, and just educate you guys. She's going to be one you're going to want to follow. This is Miss Maren Conrad, and I watched your TED Talk.
Oh, thanks.
And you know, when I first met you, we have a mutual friend, and I was at her home, and she is blessed to have several of your pieces that you've worked. I was just amazed at it just was not like anything else I'd ever seen before. And it's kind of magical to see your pieces, and they were just so appropriate for her, right, too. It was just a perfect fit. And then when she had shared that you had this TED Talk, it just opened up a different window, and it's like, I respect you, and I'm amazed by you even that much more.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of people may not have had that opportunity. Are you comfortable sharing just a little bit of kind of what brought you to being, I consider you a light worker in your work.
Yeah.
You know?
I started painting over 20 years ago. I love powerful women and very much appreciate being feminine and being able to create opportunities for women in art. As my pieces started progressing, painting beauty and then putting beauty in beautiful homes or hotels or lots of brand new hospitals and other places, I started really feeling like the beautiful places don't need as much help as the places that are discarded and broken and hurt. Those places really need beauty. So I started painting murals in alleyways and watched the transformation of places that are littered with heroin needles, where I'm picking up human feces, where there's tons of tagging and graffiti, and it's kind of where broken souls go to die. And to create a really powerful, large, beautiful place is something that you actually give to an entire community. And it's kind of cool watching through the summer how that progressed with issues of identity and race and problems with appropriation and gentrification. How that came to play in my work is through creating interactive murals where I'm not telling a community who they are and what I'm depicting. I'm creating a place for people to go play. I'm creating a landmark where you take a selfie in the work, and then it's about how you identify. It's how you dress. It's how your style. It's how you move your body. And all of a sudden, those become places for civic pride and community that don't have to do with me pushing my narrative onto other people. It creates a place where everybody can go and have their own narrative. A few blocks from here, there's a large dandelion that blows down an alleyway.
We found that.
Called the Wishing Wall, and there's not a plaque or anything, but so many people started visiting the Wishing Wall. Google Maps has actually picked it up internationally. You can be in China or Canada and type in the Wishing Wall, Sacramento, and it will give you driving directions. And then watching everybody's stories evolve with the Wishing Wall, there were men who were proposing to their fiancés there. There were men proposing to their male fiancés there.
A little bit of everything.
Right? You know, celebrity dogs, women in fitness competitions and bikinis, just a woman's kicking the dandelion because she had just gotten her first cancer-free screening.
Wow.
And just talking about the strength of having to kick that wish instead of gently blow it into the universe, that strength of character. Wow. LGBTQ community coming out as they go through that transformation. Just kind of this place for every race, identity, color to have an experience of making a wish that's the universal thing that brings us all together when we've been in such a divided culture. I have friends of all different leanings and political views, and these are kind of the places and foundations where we can all come and play and create something that's a positive narrative. It was so amazing to see in the middle of coronavirus when we in Sacramento are on stage 4 double lockdown.
Yes.
And then on my website I have, if you hit interactions, I have all the different locations and the murals, and then I also have businesses that are surrounding them, so you can go grab a sandwich, so you can grab a cup of coffee, so you can kind of feel what that neighborhood's about. You can kind of meet some people that live around there if this isn't your neighborhood.
I was blessed that last week, my assistant and I, we were able to drive through town. We found 4 of your pieces, and I'll be posting photos of Ariana and I, and it was super. I know I texted you a few times because there were some of these that were so hidden. It's like, I know we're close by because Google Maps would tell us we're close by. It's like, but where? And then there'd be just this little wall. It's like, it was like almost like a treasure hunt. We probably had the most fun with Mr. T.
Oh yeah, there's a large piece of Mr. T on C and 23rd, and he has huge nautical chain around his neck, so you can climb up onto that piece. And that was a really fun piece for me to make because Mr. T is such a strong character. So he was actually his own work of art protest piece himself before Hollywood ever discovered him. He was a bouncer at a bar. He had already changed his name to Mr. T because his grandfather was a slave, and he did not want to have a slave owner's last name, and he grew up hearing people use the racial slur boy towards his father, and he decided he was never going to be disrespected that way, so he changed his name to Mr. And he already wore all the bracelets and the gold chains.
Wow.
He would take his tip money down to the pawn shop that was down the street from the bar where he was a bouncer, and he would buy bracelets and chains because he was reclaiming shackles.
Wow.
His hairstyle is from doing genetic research from where his great-grandparents and grandparents were taken by slave ships.
I'm so moved right now. You never know where it's going to hit you, but I'm just extremely touched. I didn't even know all that about him. We just knew he was a badass, right?
Right. I just had so much respect for Mr. T and who he was, and I worked with a graphic designer, E.L. Lucas, who was in the only black fraternity at Sonoma State. He was a really cool artist. We came up with the image together, and it had to be hot pink in the background because he wasn't afraid to be himself. And like really masculine men who wear pink, I'm always like,
they're badass.
It's strong. It's a strong, vibrant color of not caring what other people think about you. It's being strong in your skin. And then I really wanted the shackles to not be shackles. And so the whole piece is cropped where it's cropped because you can hang off of it. He's so strong, he can hold you and your family and 5 other people. He's not being shackled down. He's so strong, he could hold all these people up. And like, so the piece is, I pity the fool. It's like, I pity the fool who doesn't know about Mr. T.
Right.
He was doing the right thing and being his own person and standing up against oppression, and he was thoroughly rewarded for it. Like, think how cool that is. He was just being himself at this bar, and they were like, we couldn't make up somebody as cool as you.
Seriously.
Here, come to Hollywood.
One of a kind.
Right, come to Hollywood. Let us. And then in movies, he doesn't change his hairstyle.
Right.
He doesn't change his, his jewelry. Like, that's him. And then he was able to hold on to that. When you see so many people in Hollywood, like you look at the pictures before, and then it kind of chews them up, and like Marilyn Monroe, and spits them out on the other side. You know that this man is still so strong. He knows Kevin Johnson, so he was in Oak Park and went to the opening of that restaurant and saw his mural, and like he's like official pity the fools, and like, this is awesome, Maren Conrad. It's like,
that is so
but
cool.
like just such a wonderful man. And even if people don't do all the background research and everything about Mr. T, you understand from that image that he's a badass and he's strong and he's a unique, amazing person.